Hello, Tony here from Lightwave Digital. In today's tutorial we're going to be making this heart-shaped diamond pendant. So if I just put the VPR on, you can see. So I've just created a basic kind of heart-shaped diamond, and then we've got this, it's encrusted in this case here like so, and this is what we kind of come up with. So very basic, let's get on with it. So the first thing we want to do in Model It is we're going to go to the edit options at the side, and we're going to go to backdrop options. I'm going to put a heart in the bottom right here. So under backdrop, bottom right, image, load. Let's go to my images, and we've got this flat little image here which will do. So we'll shut that down, and let's zoom in and have a look. So all I want to do is use this as an outline. So for this, what I'm going to do is create a disk. I'm holding control down, and then I'm on the keyboard, and then I'm clicking and I'm dragging out a disk. I'm going to put press N on my keyboard to be the numerical, and I'm going to change this to, let's say, 34, so we add a few more points round like so. We're not extruding it, and then we're going to leave it like this. So let's click on this little icon here, look in the corner, which makes the image bigger. Let's zoom in, and then what I'm going to do, while I'm on points here, look, I'm going to right mouse click and draw around the shape so the points are selected, just so I can see them. Then I'm going to go to modify, drag, and I'm going to drag the points one by one and place them next to the actual outline of the heart. Now when I'm doing this, my middle scroll button is set up for zoom, and if you hold Alt, you can drag your actual viewport around, so you can actually zoom in, move it into position, hold Alt, and then carry on moving the points all the way around so you get the outside shape of the actual heart. So I want to skip this bit. This is what you've got to do. You've just got to go around the heart and actually line it all up so you've got the heart shape. Okay, so I've moved all my points into position. If you want the heart to be smoother when you make the actual original disc, you could add more points, but to be honest, I'd rather keep it as low as I can so we get more sharper edges to our diamond. So we've got this. Let's give it some dimension. Let's thicken it. So we'll go to multiply, thicken, and let's drag this out so it's to about, let's bring up the numerical, so we're looking at minus 111 mil. So we've got something like that, and then we'll drop the selection. Then I want you to do is make a copy of this. So if we bring out the actual diamond itself on the layers, so your layers panel here on your left, and then we're just going to Control C on your keyboard, Control V to have a copy, and then we'll forget about it for the time being. Now make sure you've got polygons at the bottom. Select the front and back poly, and then we're just going to go to multiply, chamfer, and we're going to chamfer the edge. Now with chamfer and bevel currently, if you look here, if these two edges and points come too close together, they'll overlap, and I'll show you what I mean. So as you come together, this will happen. So you don't want to do that. I only really want to, so if yours starts overlapping, it's because these points are too close to the bottom one, so you need to move them out before you maybe chamfer it. So we've got this like so, spacebar / to drop your selection. So that, I'm going to say that's the back, so I'm not going to do anything with that. I just want to make another selection with this. Now there's different ways you can do this. You can use the bevel tool and bring it in again, and then you've got a nice little bevel. And again, it depends on this area, again, how close it is, but the closer you bring it, it kind of crosses over, so you've got to be careful and stuff like that, and you get this shape then. If you want to do that, the multi-shift, bring up the numerical. So on multi-shift, you can use various options for inset. So on here, I've got irregular scale and then the contour, so you kind of bring it out and bring it in. But what it does, you'll notice it isn't doing that overlap, it's just scaling it. So you can do it this way as well. So I can bring it right in and bring it in a bit. Let's say that. So I'm using the actual multi-shift with regular scale and contour, and you can do it numerically here, look, if you want and stuff. So let's say I'm happy with that, okay, and I'm not worried how thick it's going to be because I'm going to use the stretch tool to bring it in a little bit. Now let's shut that down and press spacebar. Now while you've got this selected, just with the front, because I'm saying this is a front, and while we're on multiply, go to more and make pole. So what this does is this, and why, so it puts a point and makes all the joints edges all the way around of all these points here. So what I want to do is in my top view or my side view, whatever view you're in, just go to modify, move, and I'm just going to bring this out, so it's kind of bringing it out like so. Now I don't want all these edges out, so what I'm going to do then is go down to the bottom left, choose edges, and I'm going to choose every other edge, and I'm going to get rid of it, or most of them. Let's say that one, let's say that one, that one, that one. So I'm only doing it to the front where I've made the pole, and every other edge I'm going to get rid of. So let's just say that for the time being. Okay, so we go to construct and then dissolve, and it removes it. Okay, so I'm going to say that I'm happy with for the diamond for the time being. So now what I need to do is make the actual rim that goes around it, and that's why I've kind of kept this, the other bit. So remember, I made a copy. So with the actual second heart, like I said, I've selected the actual polygons for either side, and then what we'll do is we're just going to go to multiply, bevel. I'm holding control down and I'm dragging sideways so I can bevel it in, because I want this to be like the outside of the pendant, like so. So let's have a look. And then what we've got is this, but I want these two polys to be gone and to be joined up, so we've just got it hollow in the center. So to do that, go to construct, click bridge, and you get this. So let's press spacebar to drop the selection. What we want to do now is I don't want to leave the outside like this, because I want to sub patch it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to chamfer the edges. So if you, I'm clicking spacebar because it jumps between, when you press spacebar, it jumps between here, look, the different elements in the bottom left here. So I'm going to select two edges of the same loop, go to select, loop, do the same, I'm holding shift, select these two, loop, and then we'll do the same to the other side. Like so. And then I'm going to go to multiply and chamfer, so we get this like so. Then press space bar and / to drop the selection, and then if you press the tab key on your keyboard, this will sub patch it. So let's turn on the actual diamond, and you can see we've got this kind of outside of it now. So what we'll do is let's put the actual rim in the background, and what we're going to do is I'm going to size down. So go to modify, size, and at the bottom in the action center put on local, and let's just size it down so it's kind of going to be inside the actual rim. So let's just turn that on. Let's have a look. So we've kind of got this. Okay, I'm not too bothered about the back, because the back itself, I mean, we can select the polygon and you can move it out if you wanted to give it some more depth, and you can also bevel it again, or you can actually again make a pole for the center, but this is the back of the pendulum. So we've got this now. So what I'm going to do is let's name these layers. So we'll double click the layers, and let's just cut this, call this heart diamond, and then let's choose this. Let's just call this rim, like so. And the last thing I want to do, let's do it on a new layer, put these in the background, is let's make the little loop that you would add to the chain. So for this we'll go to create, toroid, numerical, and it'll bring up this big thing. So let's size it down. So you've got the radius and the section radius. So let's make it small. So what we're doing, making it small, let's put it around the x-axis, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to bring it down. Keep bringing these down until we've got it to the size we kind of want. Like so. You can see in this view here, let's just move it up, because we wanted it to be kind of there. And again, let's just zoom in on here, and again positioning it. So let's just move it into the center. So I'm using the actual positioning, we're leaving it at 360, and then you've just got to decide how thick and how small you kind of want your rim, or shall I say your little hoop thing. And once you've kind of happy with your size and stuff, you can then move it. Oops, wrong one. Let's move it into place without going too far. I mean, we could say that. Let's have a look. Let's just say we're happy with that. We'll drop the selection. Let's turn them all on. So you kind of got the loop. And let's say I want to move it a little bit more. So I'm just going to select one poly and press the bracket key or selections connected, and then if I zoom in, and then in the side view here, if you hold down Alt, you can use your arrow keys on your keyboard to position it, and the closer you're in is the smaller the movement, like so. So you're kind of seeing how far it's going in and how far where you want it, kind of thing. So it needs to go a bit more. So let's just go back and then let's just have a look. So it could be that, like so. So what I'll do is I'm just going to select the actual hook. I'm going to Command X and then Command V into the background, into the actual outside of the pendant. And then while we're on it, let's give it a name, so a surface name. So Q on your keyboard, we'll just call it rim. And then for the heart, let's just call it heart, like so. We'll save it, S on your keyboard, into here. I've already got a couple of examples. Let's call it 3 and save. So this is what we've got then, ready to go through. So at the top corner here, look, a little drop down arrow. Let's send this to layout, and let's just have a look. So let's turn VPR on. So at the top here, look, VPR, and this is what we've kind of got. So first thing we'll do is let's bring up the surface editor, and for the heart we'll go to presets, and we're just going to use the built-in presets. So we'll go to glass, and there's a diamond one, double click it. Once it's loaded, untick smoothing, we don't want smoothing on. And then for the rim, let's just go and use maybe a built-in metal gold, that'll do, like so. So we've got both of them. Let's go to the light at the bottom and press properties. At the top where it says current light, let's go to environment. Let's add a HDRI. So I'm going to turn off the use globals and time dependence, and in where this little box here for environment, right mouse click, and we're going to add texture environment, double click it, texture, this comes up. We're going to use a spherical through the Y, and I've already got an actual HDR which I've got from HDR Haven. So let's add that, and you kind of get this in the background. Obviously we need to go back to the heart, and for the colour let's just choose a kind of a red colour, like so. We'll shut these down so you can see our little diamond heart. What other things you can do is, so with the background, let's go to the image editor, and for the actual source, if we go to processing, add filter, go to full precision blur, double click it, and this brings up the settings and it blurs it. And you can play around with these if you want to make it more blurred, but I'm just going to leave it like that. And to be honest, that's it now. We're there. We've got a little pendant with our kind of diamond heart. There's the back, and it's as easy as that. And then you can just set your camera up and render it. So I'm going to leave it there. You can go back in and experiment. I mean, you can experiment. Shift click on any texture brings it up, and you can. We can turn the actual roughness down, so it's going to give it more. Get rid of some of that kind of spreading of the light and the bump and stuff, so you get a really nice kind of smoother, shinier kind of gold. But that's it. Thanks for listening.